All right, let's hit record. Give a big smile. What's up, everybody, and welcome to Soft Tissue Practice Revolution, the podcast. My name is Dr. Matt Maggio, and my mission is simple. I'm here to help practitioners that specialize in soft tissue treatments in how to significantly increase their skill set, their business, scale their practice, make more money, all while being ethical and not ripping off patients. So we're on episode 6, and behind me is why I get up at 2:30 a.m. every day. Yeah, when I tell people what time I get up, they look at me like my head's going to explode. They're like, you get up at what time? And then the very next question is, what time do you go to bed? Good question. So I've probably for the last 3 or 4 years, I've been an early riser. You know, I used to like to get up before 5, and then I started getting up at like 4:30, then 4, then 3:30, then 3, then 2:30. So 2:30 seems to be the sweet spot for me, and it really helps me to become more productive and get the shit done that needs to be done. So to answer the first question, what time do I go to bed? I don't know. Sometimes 6:30, sometimes 7, sometimes 7:30. Just depends, but I get up at the same time every day because that is really consistent. So I guess I've always been a person of regimen and getting shit done and being focused. You know, I'm one of those people that just has this level of focus that other people either admire or they're afraid of. Like when I'm in something or I'm there, I am present, I am focused, and I am getting that shit done. I am not a multitasker. I work on one thing at a time and I give it my best. The idea of like deep work and really focusing. So there's a lot of things that I want to work on myself personally. And I found that I was having to push a lot of those things to later in the day, and then they weren't getting done. And then I also found when my life became chaotic and I was struggling is because I didn't have routine. And I like to suffer a little bit. I'm one of those weird people that likes to feel uncomfortable, likes to suffer a little bit, and try to do a couple things a day that suck. And one of them is just getting my ass out of bed at 2:30. Well, trust me, I don't like it. I'm not like, ooh, this is awesome. I'm up at 2:30 and it's cold and I'd much rather stay in bed and stay under the covers. But one of my favorite quotes is from one of my favorite Stoic philosophers, Marcus Aurelius. And he said in the morning when you don't want to get up, like, think about like what your duty and your purpose is. Is it to stay under bed in the covers and stay in your pajamas, or is it to get up and do something and live life of purpose and make a difference? I mean, I definitely paraphrased all that. His was very more eloquently put. I'm not the best with the gab when it comes to being eloquent, but I do get to the point. Now, what happens when I get up that early? I'm like a fucking machine. I'm a robot. And you know what? I like it. You know, my alarm goes off. I have one of those light alarms. I've been using that for probably like the last 6 months. My fiance got me into that, and I love it. It's awesome. Basically what it does is it just turns on a light like 30 minutes before you're supposed to get up, and it gradually wakes you up. I wake up so much more calm and so much more easy. It's not like that alarm of like, wah, 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 wah. Get up. And what I find for myself is that I'm waking up 5 or 10 minutes before that anyway because my body is programmed. And it's a nice, gentle way to start my day. So the beginning part of my day is my time. It isn't time to work on my business. It isn't time to work on any of those other things. It's time to make me better as a human, as a doctor, as a partner, and as a contributor of society. So the very first thing I do is when I get up, I reach over, I grab my phone. Like a lot of people say, don't grab your phone. But here's the thing about me. Before I go to bed, I actually put it on Do Not Disturb. I don't have any notifications on my phone. I don't even know when people call me or they text me. I have certain times of day when I check that. That's a good life hack. We can go over that in later episodes. But basically, I don't know what's going on. It just says do not disturb. I don't check social media. I don't check my phone. I don't check my email. I don't do anything. As far as I know, I don't know what the fuck's going on. The world could have ended when I was slept, but I don't know because I'm still going through my routine, and nothing's going to stop me from that routine. So first thing I do is I actually listen to about a 2 or 3 minute video from Jocko Willink's Discipline Equals Freedom. Kind of fires you up, kicks you in the ass, calls you a pussy, tells you all sorts of stuff, gives different perspectives on that, on mental toughness and discipline. That is something that really gets me going. Then what I do is I listen to a chapter in one of the best books ever called The Daily Stoic by Ryan Holiday. If you haven't read that, that book's awesome. They're like maybe like 2 minutes long and audible. And it really just gives you a perspective on the day, on life, mortality, dealing with people, all those things, and sets the tone. Then I have the 5-minute grateful app. So basically I write 3 things that I'm grateful for. Then I go through 3 intentions that I'm going to be for the day, like how I'm going to show up. Like really big ones for me lately is just be present, listen effectively, and be positive. And then lastly, I just make my affirmations. And my affirmations are the same every day. I have these things called my vitals, or my 3 things that I focus on all the time. One is I'm going to live a healthy life until 95 years old so that I can teach as many doctors as possible my method called the PEAK method so we can put an end to opioid epidemic. So once I'm done with all that, I get my ass out of bed. It usually takes me about 5 or 10 minutes. Get out, and then my routine starts. I get my coffee going. I do the things that I need to do. I start going. And then what I do is I start to grow my mind. And my favorite author in the entire world is Robert Greene. If you haven't read any Robert Greene books, they're fucking phenomenal. He has the 48 Laws of Power. He has Mastery. He has The Art of Seduction, The Art of War, The 50th Law. And his new book, which is actually my favorite, is The Laws of Human Nature. So what I do is I listen to 30 minutes of Robert Greene books and really get my mind right as we go from there. Then I'm ready to get going. So then what I do is I go in and do about a 5-minute yoga routine just to get things moving, blood flowing, things flowing for that. Then I go and actually lay back down. But when I lay down in my bed, I'm actually doing a Wim Hof method. If you haven't read about Wim Hof, he's the Iceman. He's a bad motherfucker, but basically it's very intense breathing to get things to open up. You basically get your blood flow, you get your nervous system going. Go in there, really open things up, and get your mind right. And then it puts me into like this euphoric state. And then once I'm done with that, what I do next is I do about a 10-minute meditation. I put my headphones in, I have an app, I use the Calm app, and I just drone out. But it's more of a functional meditation. I think about the day and challenges I'm going to have ahead, and I understand that things are going to happen. Then the next part, I get up and I get my ass in a cold shower. So people are like, oh, cold showers. There's so many benefits to that. And it took me a while to get into that, but now I'm in the shower for like 5 or 10 minutes. And one thing that I like to do is this is when I start getting amped up. One of my favorite rappers of all time is Meek Mill. And I just listen to some of his music to really get me fired up for the day. Start singing, dancing in the cold water, and all of a sudden I'm ready to roll. Now I'm ready to go and do some of my movement. That's when I start listening to some podcasts, some business podcasts. I have a few that I like. And the first thing I do is I go into the gym and I do about 15 minutes on the Airdyne bike, listen to the podcast, go back through, do a walk outside for about 30 minutes, finish off again on the bike, continuing to listen to more business building podcasts. Then I go back upstairs. I do this thing where I soak my hands in ice cold water for 4 minutes aside. I got that from Wim Hof as well. It's continuing to mentally strengthen me how I am. Now I'm finally ready to go to work. And at that point, it's like 4:45, 5 a.m. People are not even thinking about getting up yet. And on my way to work, I have this one podcast that I listen to all the time. It's called the Momentum Podcast by Alex Sharf, and it's amazing. And then I come into the office and I just get shit done, and then I pull out, and I have it down here on my desk for people on video. I pull out my power list for Mandy Frisilla, the MFCEO project, and I go on my critical task, and I go on, and I start working on winning the day. Now, I don't fucking stray from that at all. Like, I am like almost like an autistic person with Asperger's. Like, if I miss a routine or something like that, the rest of the world has to feel my wrath because I'm not right. Routine is everything for me. Routine has gotten me to the position where I am now. It's created success. It's created process and systems in my life. And it took a long time to dial it in right. But I'm so glad that I have it. So many people struggle all the time because they're not owning their day. They're not doing it. They wake up to some alarm that they hate, not at a consistent time. They go through some half-assed morning thing. They go to a job that they hate, and they're not ready to go because they can't work on themselves, and then they kick it off to the end of the day. I got all my shit done that's important in the morning, so whatever hits me for the rest of the day, I'm good. The idea is called bookending your days. Doing the things that are important in the beginning of the day, owning that, and then at the end of the day, I have my routine as I wind down as well. I listen to some books. I watch a show that is like beneficial. I either watch The Profit or Shark Tank, something of business value. I go back in, reflect on my day, and I own that as well. So if you're struggling in life, you're struggling in business, you're not showing up better, it's because you're not structuring your day. I have so much extra time and so much freedom because I use the time valuable. And there's something very tranquil and peaceful about getting up early in the morning and walking around and taking in there. There's no distractions of life and anything like that. So it might seem like a lot, and I'm not telling you to do everything that I do, but start getting your life in order and start doing that, especially if you're being chaotic. So today was more of a tactical type of podcast to really show who I am, what I do, what sets me apart, and let you know that I am a crazy bastard, but I like the way I am. I'm different, but I'm a productive, different person, and I want to help people be better as well. So if you like what you see, here's what you need to do. There's a link in the show notes. If you're watching this on YouTube, there's a link in here. If you're watching it on Facebook, click the link and it'll take you directly to our group. It's called the Soft Tissue Revolution Group. And basically there, you got to answer a couple questions, prove that you are a massage therapist, physical therapist, chiropractor, and you're interested in soft tissue treatment. You're interested in learning how businesses are formed, how I've created a ton of success in my own clinics and things like that, and become part of the soft tissue revolution. If you don't like what you see and you think I'm an asshole, send me a message and I'll tell you right back that I really don't give a shit what you say about me because I'm only focusing on the people that want to get better and want to be part of this revolution. So thanks again for watching the episode. This is episode 6, and I appreciate your time because I know it is the most important resource you can give me, and the fact that you're listening to this means the world to me. So thanks for watching, and we'll see you guys on the next one. And end.